welcome back to Straya Trains. And in fact, one of the biggest welcomes ever to a very special video celebrating 2,000 subscribers. As a result, I think it was the right time to finally do a more personal Q&A. So as a result, over the last week or two, subscribers submitted lots of great questions, and I can't wait to go through them. I have split them up into 4 categories, starting off with sort of network operation, then more onto the aspects of the channel, then a bit about myself personally, and then the 4th category is just sort of miscellaneous questions. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's get straight into it. With a happy Extrapolis train first. Thank you for all your questions. Let's start off with the network operation. Well, in terms of rolling stock, once the Commons are retired, I reckon the Sandringham line will be 100% Siemens. I can't see them introducing Extrapolis or high-capacity metro trains for that matter on the Sandy line. So I guess the next type of rolling stock we'll see on the Sandringham line is probably when the Siemens start to get retired, but that's still quite a while away. Probably just some slight improvements to service frequency off-peak on weekdays. For instance, the Belgrave and Lilydale lines beyond Ringwood is every 20 minutes on the weekend, yet off-peak on weekdays is every 30 minutes. Interestingly, Water Gardens to Sunbury is a 40-minute frequency off-peak, yet at night it becomes every 30 minutes. So just a few things like that. I think it would make quite a big difference to those that live in those areas, and also mean that more people might catch trains if they're a little bit more frequent. I have better communication, particularly with the passenger information displays. The new upgrades we're starting to see now with the white background is very confusing, as train stations that a service is running express through actually come up in a very light grey, which to a lot of people is quite confusing and looks like the train is stopping there. Also, the white background is a lot tougher on the eyes, and I think the black with the line colouring would actually look much better. Also, there does seem to be a few issues with the programming of the new upgrade system, which also is a problem. Moreover, the location of passenger information displays and the efficiency of what they show on the screens is something that could be improved as well. It would probably have to be a Rville Line. I would argue that it is a little bit unrealistic, as if you were to junction off at Caulfield, there really isn't enough platforms with only 4 total, and it'd be very hard to build any more sort of with the area you've got there. But if it is possible to sort of junction off at Caulfield, head along Dandenong Road between the 2 main roads, sort of where there's that nature strip, grassway there, and sort of build a skyrail to Rville, sort of by Monash University, Wellington Road area, I think would be quite cool. As I said, I don't know if it is really practical, but I would love to see it if it theoretically could happen. Probably the Hiashi trains, just because they were my childhood. I was thinking maybe similar to the W-class trams that run City Circle services. If when Metro runs City Circle services, they could run an older train instead of an Extrapolis train, such as the Hiashi. Again, unrealistic. Even if there was Hiatashis available, it would never happen. Interesting question. I'll be honest, I'm not too into the mechanics and engineering of trains, but if I was to introduce a few features, it would definitely have to be the high-capacity metro train, passenger information displays, destination headboards. Definitely their spaciousness as well is very important. Something like the Commons or Extrapolis seating would also be quite good. Definitely the doors will be on the Extrapolis 2.0 trains. I think they're probably the best doors, and you don't have to wait for the train to open, which I think is quite good. Definitely, and one important thing is get rid of or make no more of the 3 carriage train configurations, as the driver's cabs do take a lot of space up in the middle. So definitely either 1, 6 or 7 carriage trains depending on their length. No for the first 2 questions. For question 3, if I could close one station, definitely Willison Station on the Alamein line. It no longer is needed. It was originally opened to serve the purpose of being a nearby station for the local golf club, but that is no longer needed, as there is, again, a really close station nearby in Hartwell. And Willison Station doesn't even see 100,000 annual patronage a year, so it is a very quiet station due to its close proximity to other stations. So I just don't think this station is needed, and if it was to close, it would have very minimal impacts on patronage. Not really sure. I mean, this is more of a political question, I guess. We're going to definitely need some line extensions, for example, all the way to Wallet. The electrification of, for example, the Melton Wintervale lines, I think would be important to serve these growth areas. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not the way we're looking for, at least not in the next 10 years. So I guess the answer to that question would be not too bright for these growth areas. And the Caulfield Loop will be used for Frankston services when the Metro Tunnel opens, which will mean the Sandringham Line will become the new line, part of the Cross City Group with the Werribee and Williamstown Line. And thank you, appreciate it. Definitely South Kensington Station. It's, well, quite run down, and the platform, especially on the platform one side, is so narrow you can barely walk behind the yellow line, and I think it is quite dangerous in that sense. It will be hard to upgrade because of the minimal space you've got, but yeah, definitely South Kensington is in need of serious work. Look, fair enough. I believe a lot of upgrades need to be done, especially on those level crossings before velocities can actually run all the way to Swan Hill. So if you like the comfortable end sets, I guess you're lucky. If you prefer the velocities, I guess you're unlucky. Look, I haven't ridden the 4D train in Melbourne, nor have I been on a Tangara set. However, the Tangaras, in my opinion, do look pretty cool in the videos and photos I've seen. I think it would be great for Melbourne if it is possible. However, being that we've still got the Extrapolis 2.0s that aren't even in service yet, I think there will be a decent wait till we get a new type of electric train for commuting. Hopefully the government prioritises the airport rail, but even that's been put on pause as of right now, being late 2023. I hope they scrap the suburban rail loop. I think it's a ridiculously over budget project already that, yeah, it's just, I don't even know when it's going to get done if it is. And the Western Rail, yeah, in terms of if you're talking about electrification and whatnot, Geelong Fast Rail, etc., yeah, I think that would be great, especially for that western suburbs that are growing sort of in that area. But I think they'll do it. Well, it doesn't seem like they will. I think they've scrapped electrification in Melton, Wintervale, and the Geelong Fast Rail seems to be in limbo right now. So the only thing I think that's got the best chance of going ahead right now is the airport rail. But as I said, even that is still on suspension right now. Now on to questions about the YouTube channel itself. And let's start off with this great one. What made me decide to post videos on YouTube? Well, kind of a weird story, I guess, or weird thinking. I really wanted to get into videoing trains, but I just knew I wouldn't have enough storage on my phone. So I thought I'd post on YouTube, and then at least that can be sort of a storage point where I can put as many videos as I want there and not have to worry about storage. Turned out I got a little bit of support, especially those landmark announcement videos, and I think one thing led to another, and then I decided, hang on, maybe let's put in some time and really build this YouTube channel, and it's turned out to be a great community as of now, and I'm forever grateful that I decided to. But yeah, originally it had nothing to do with actually using YouTube as a platform for sharing videos to other people. I guess the main future plan is just to continue what I'm doing and try upload 2 videos a week if possible. However, I do actually have a special announcement coming very soon, maybe in the next few weeks or so. So if you haven't made it this far in the video, I guess you've got a little heads up, so keep a lookout on the community posts. And favourite type of train, definitely Comenge, love the historic look. And favourite station, definitely Carrum, beautiful view, you can see the Dandenongs all the way around the coastline as well, and it is just lovely on a warm summer's day to be there. Definitely a question I expected to receive, and yeah, I just can't see any need for it. There's no point. Unfortunately, there were people that were sending a lot of emails, and as much as I want to get back to everyone, it was just too hard. However, in regards to the announcement, there will be soon a new way to contact me. That'll be part of the announcement, so definitely stay tuned. But yeah, sorry for the inconvenience, but unfortunately, yeah, it is what it is. To be honest, I can't see it happening. I'm not too interested in trains outside of Victoria personally, and I don't travel really ever at all much that is outside of Victoria or on a holiday. So yeah, I can't see it happening. Maybe once in a blue moon, but yeah, definitely not anytime soon. Yes, I actually have. It was sort of when I was newish to filming the Stage 3 Comenge announcement videos. Fortunately, it was a very short service. It was a North Melbourne service. But I didn't notice at the time, but I looked back at the clips and noticed my complete face was in reflection of the passenger information display, and I didn't really want to have to put a black sort of mark on it, so I thought I'd just do it again. It's been months since and I haven't, but yeah, I did have to unfortunately scrap it, and so yeah, couldn't use it for privacy reasons. So yes, it has happened before. I've also had to scrap other certain clips and go back to refilm them, but that's probably the only service of entirety that I've had to scrap before. Not really. I do try to stay pretty discreet about it, so stay near the end of the platform, so I'm not in the middle where most people go. Although I have once before, I was at North Melbourne filming the Tate and on the overpass, and sort of a guy comes back at me and sort of taps me on the back, and I look at him and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I thought he was just someone who was interested. But anyway, he sort of accused me of trying to steal people's identity, and pretty much, yeah, threatened to kill me if I didn't stop filming. So yeah, not really weird look, but definitely a rather weird scenario. And to give you a bit of an idea, this was like 8 a.m. on like a Saturday morning or something, or Sunday morning. So yeah, that definitely woke me up and quickly. I guess just because I live in, well, Victoria, why I'm interested in the railways in Melbourne is I don't really have much interest in any other railways across the country or the world. But exactly as to why I like trains is something I tend to ask myself. I don't really know. I can't really pinpoint why exactly. I do enjoy sort of having the adrenaline rush of the trains going fast by and sort of the sounds they make and whatnot. I've always grown up liking trains, right from a young age. But yeah, I can't pinpoint exactly why as to I like trains specifically. Interestingly enough, I just like them. I'm assuming this is some joke or something. I don't really get it, but no, I don't really have a preference. Never been to either of those places, so yeah, pick one. I don't know. Hello, Samuel. Yes, have been on a Hiashi many times, but like others, not for a long time now. My favourite and least favourite station has to be favourite Karam. Love the view there. It's beautiful. You can see the Dandenong Ranges and the coastline. It is really lovely there, especially on a nice day. Least favourite station, probably Footscray. Yeah, it is a great station, and I will admit that. But for me personally, I just don't like the vibe there. Which station do I enjoy filming at the most? Probably the ones I've been at a lot, which would be, for instance, Westall, Albion, West Footscray, Newport, Water Gardens, Richmond, and that's just to name a few. But I don't really have a specific favourite station, so to speak. And yeah, I guess I just decided to upload in 2021. I've had YouTube, I guess, now for about 8 years' time, but never really uploaded, just use it for personal reasons. So that's why the channel was made, I guess, in 2015, but no video till June 1st, 2021. Not really sure in terms of my favourite rail network, but I think something that Australia doesn't have, particularly Victoria, but many other countries' railway network has, is just beautiful scenery. Not that Victoria's bad, but we just don't have anything like the mountains and whatnot that other countries have. So I think, yeah, definitely plenty of nice scenery in other countries, but hard to pinpoint one exactly. Favorite tram route? What do I think of the network? I think it's all right. Don't have much thought on tram, but I think I do like Route 96. Always fun trying to find the, well, Bumblebee or now ex Bumblebee trams, the C2 class, I believe it is. So probably that route. Nice and busy one. Plenty of new trams on it. Decently long. You can sort of near St Kilda and head all the way to Brunswick via the city. And as for favourite station, least favourite, Karam and Footscray, as explained before. Not your fault, that's just the order of the questions in the video. Probably the first ever service in Victoria with CBTC signalling. It's something that's taken years of hard work and it's finally paid off. It was a huge milestone and it was very fun to be on that high capacity metro train from Westall to Flinders Street with many railway employees and other rail enthusiasts. Plus, the weather was quite nice that day. Absolutely, train enthusiasts like planes. I've got a mate that likes both trains and planes. But me personally, not really. Kind of the only transport I am at all interested in is indeed trains. No, I do not. The only games I really play is Candy Crush. Been playing it for about 8 or 9 years. Yes, I'm pretty boring, but that's just how I am. Just like to do the same thing over and over again. And also Mario Kart 8. That's probably the main two games that I do play. Nah, would not have been me, unfortunately. Gonna have to go with the Met livery on this one. I think personally, yellow or green or golden green, the Australian colours look really good on lots of things, and a Cummins train is no exception. Definitely B74. Had some fun chasing it over the last couple of years. Beautiful locomotive, probably highlighted by the light engine driver training run that I saw on the Sandringham line. And then, yeah, early this year in 2023, got to get up close and personal with it during the Seymour Railway Heritage Centre's open weekend, which was a lot of fun. Look, I don't really travel much on the regional network. Only ever been as far as South Geelong on the Geelong line and Bendigo on the Bendigo line. But my favourite station, probably Castlemaine. It's a nice old historic station, and I filmed a little bit there, and yeah, it's just nice there. So yeah, probably Castlemaine. Favourite line, even including V line, would still have to be the Metro Hurstbridge line. Sort of once you get to that Greensboro and McLeod area, it is quite beautiful. You get some really nice nature strip scenery around, especially around Wattle Glen area. And sort of, yeah, once you get to Elf and beyond the single track, it's also kind of cool being on a single track. And yes, whilst it isn't really the best for train spotting, as it's pretty much just extrapolis trains there, in terms of just enjoying yourself going for a ride, I absolutely love the Hurstbridge line. Well, it's in your username, definitely the Comenge. Maybe I'm a bit biased, but yeah, they're just so unique, so historic. Their sounds and their looks are just so different to anything else we've got really in the entire Victorian network in terms of V Line and Metro trains. So yeah, definitely the Comenge, and definitely going to be sad to see them go, which is uh, very soon. Time is ticking. It is inevitable. Alrighty, we're going to have to go rapid fire on this one. Werribee Williamstown line has to be Newport. Sunbury line, West Footscray. Craigieburn line, Kensington. Upfield line, I guess Batman Station. Hurstbridge Mernda lines, probably, well, Mernda line, South Morang. Hurstbridge line, McLeod. Ringwood lines, probably, I don't know, Camberwell, I guess. Or I'll say that's for the Lilydale line, and then for the Belgrave line, probably Belgrave Station itself. Alamein line, probably Alamein. Pakenham Cranbourne lines. We'll go Pakenham line, Narry Warren. For the Cranbourne line, we'll just say Westall. Frankston line, definitely Carrum. Sandringham line, Brighton Beach. And for the Central group, probably a bit biased, but going to go Flinders Street on that one. For your loco trains, probably Cheeseburger's my favourite livery. Tangerine's quite nice as well. Not really a big fan of the Blood and Bone livery, the blue and red one. And then in terms of sort of the velocities themselves, to be honest, I'm not really a fan of any of the liveries. I guess maybe the current purple is probably the best in my opinion, but sort of those weird turquoisey yellow ones and the red and purple and yellow and all that, yeah, just in my opinion, very wacky and out there, I guess. I reckon Footscray Station, it's got 6 platforms. They're all sort of varying in length, sort of the direction to which they are facing. Still a very old station, but with the modern sort of overpass and upgrades. It's, yeah, just an odd one in my opinion, and probably the weirdest on the network, but others that do come to mind: Macaulay, Canterbury, Westona, Eltham, just to name a few. Lots of friendly staff. Look, if there was one improvement I'd have to make, I think it would be to be a bit more honest, transparent with certain information. I think it would make the public understand when trains aren't running as to schedule, as to why that is. But no, overall, I think, yeah, great company, lots of nice people, and, well, in my humble opinion, the operator of the best railway network in the country. And finally, part 4, some miscellaneous questions. Yes, of course, I've got to touch off, as anyone else does. I guess was more of a way if anyone wanted to chip in, donate a couple bucks, as you know, monkey fares are quite expensive. $10 for a daily ticket, it adds up quickly. So I guess that's why I thought I'd do that as a fun little way to donate if anyone wanted to help me out. But of course, no one is obliged to donate at all. So if you don't want to, that's all good. Pretty much, before every service, the driver of the train puts in a code known as a TD number that basically tells the train what service it is running. And essentially, it is sort of location based. It's a bit more complicated than that, but think of it as a location based thing. And when the train arrives at the next station that it's supposed to stop at, the train will now say now arriving at station X. It isn't over an internal phone line. They're all pre-recorded sound stations, and the train knows, for example, if it's running a Belgrave Limited Express service, that, for instance, once it gets to Camberwell Station, the next station will actually be Box Hill, and that is based on the number that the driver puts in before the service begins. Personally, I've always been against logos. I just enjoy things for their colours. Same goes for t-shirts and therefore trains. So yeah, I think they would look a little bit worse. I think the HMTs look pretty clean on the outside as they are and don't need the Metro or PTV logos on their sides or fronts. I actually did make a video about a few months back now about 10 great locations to train spots. So if you want to check that out, feel free to. But just to reiterate a couple stations, I think I might have mentioned earlier on in the video here as well, but personally I think Newport, Carrum, Flinders Street, West Footscray, Albion, Jakarta, Broadmeadows, and North Melbourne. That's maybe just to name a few, but it depends what you're after. If you're after more goods trains or electric trains or just a beautiful scenery. So yeah, it all really depends what you're after, but hopefully that will get you started, and good luck on your train spotting adventures. And on that note, this is the longest video I think I've ever done on this channel by quite a fair distance. Thank you so much for submitting all your lovely questions. I had a fun time making this video, and once again, thank you so much for all the support. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I think we will leave it at that. Cheers.